What's up YouTube, and welcome back to Homebrew Subaru. In this episode I'm going to pull the cylinder heads from the WRX block. What's up everyone? I'm going to try and keep this video short because I'm just really busy doing other things. And I haven't been out here primarily because the temperature has been so cold. Finally it's come up just above freezing and kicking on the heat. I can get it pretty warm out here to work. And I've been out shoveling snow like constantly, and I partied pretty hard on Friday night, so I kind of wore myself out this weekend. But I'm ready to get into it. I want to pull the heads off of this thing today and at least get a look at the combustion chambers and make sure that there's no cracks in there. So I'm going to jump right into this thing. I'm not going to film taking them off. Probably end up leaving a link of pulling the heads off of the last STI engine I did. And I got to kind of clean up a little bit, so I got a space to put these things. And yeah, I'm just going to roll right into it so that I'm not wasting your guys' time. Okay, so I've already got both cylinder heads off. They didn't actually take a lot of time to get off. I only cut my hand once, so I found a few things that are worrisome and could cause some issues if I try to reuse them. So I'm going to show you what I did find. With the heads removed, can certainly see that this is a 205 block. It's not a 207. This square recession in the piston is one indicator, and then being completely open deck, the 207 has some webbing here to semi-close it in. Now, just with this one piston pushed back and having a little look inside, it might be difficult for the camera to pick it up, but there is some lines and scoring there, and I can actually feel it with my finger, not even using my fingernail. So this block did have some material run through it. I'm not quite sure how much. The cylinder that's exposed on the other side doesn't have as much wear to it, but that's pretty much that's really close to the point of machining. I mean, someone could risk owning it out, but with the bottom end making noise and the cylinder wall looking like that, I think this block is probably finished. So I've just spun around the crank to expose number 4 cylinder wall, and it's got about the same wear as number 2, maybe a little less. But I think this engine block is now as good as a boat anchor. Now, as for these heads, I found a couple things that I don't like about them. So first thing was just getting the camshafts out. The tappets, or the shims on the tappets or lifters, they have it's not really wear, it's just age. So these are really old. They have a lot of mileage on them. The coating is actually at the point it's starting to wear thin, and they could be reused, but not the greatest idea. You can see how much discolorations happened to this one. See, I mean, you can't feel any of that. They've been in there a very, very long time. Now, I'm really not sure which cap it is. It might be this one. Yeah. So you can see the inside of that journal is quite coarse and very rough. This is the journal on the camshaft, and it doesn't really show like scoring, but it definitely shows age and wear. And this one the same thing, got some roughness in that. Actually, all of them have a little bit. The other side wasn't as bad. Yeah, like they're not too bad. That one's pretty clean. That one's a little rough. So definitely some material went through the heads. I'm just thinking it's probably light bearing material that got broken down in the oil, and just as it kept running, it made its way in through everything. Now for me, I'm unsure, but these do look like Subaru replacement head gaskets. They are multi-layered steel. I don't see Subaru on them anywhere. Oh yeah, we got a little, that little guy is maybe Subaru. But anyway, they don't show any signs of damage or leakage, but the actual heads have some very fine cracking. If you can see just where the spark plug sits leading out to those intake valves, or the exhaust valves, sorry, there's 2 little hairline cracks on that one, 1 little hairline crack on that one, and 2 little hairline cracks on that one. And actually the intake valves also got a little crack on this one, but they don't show a real problem here. Whereas on some heads, that crack literally starts to bleed coolant, and you can leak combustion gases up into the cooling system and causes all types of problems, and literally makes you think you have a head gasket problem, but it's a cracked cylinder head, and all the overheating causes the gasket to fail. And yeah, it's kind of it's an old GM issue that I used to run into. So I just flipped over bank 2 cylinder head, and you can see the amount of scoring in here. And look at this one. Let me get the light. That is ruined. So basically what I've come down to is these cylinder heads are fucked, and I'm not going to reuse them because I don't want to have problems putting this thing back together. These things are bound to cause me a problem. Yeah, like there is just junk. The whole engine's junk. So I'm kind of glad that I ended up taking this thing apart first, as opposed to taking apart the single overhead cam 257, because now I know that thing's going to stay together. I basically need to kind of think of what I'm going to do for this thing. So yeah, I've got a lot of thinking and rethinking and replanning to do. Now when I bought this car, I realized it was going to need quite a bit of money put into it, and I kept an open mind kind of to expect anything. And now I know it's worst case scenario, the whole engine's no good. So I'm gonna start looking around. If you guys got some opinions or ideas, drop them in the comments and I will have a look. I got some time to think about it. I'm in no serious rush, like I keep on saying. But yeah, at least I know where I'm at, and I can start planning the next couple videos from what's going on now. But if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Leave your questions and comments further down below. Have a happy new year, and I will see you next time.